We're at the Shannons Auctions showroom, and today we're going to check out their upcoming spring auction. There's heaps of Aussie cars, Japanese cars, Euro cars, so let's take a look. So we're here at Shannons with Ryan. We're here for your spring auction, is that right?
We are, yes. This is the spring auction for late August, early September.
So how many cars have we got at the auction? It looks pretty full in here.
We're just about a capacity with 52 cars. We've got 8 motorbikes in the auction, so it is a full house.
Yep. And right behind you, hey, these have gone up in value, haven't they?
The Series 3 RX-7s, yeah, certainly something that's shot up in value over the last few years.
Yeah. Popular overseas. When I've been in the States, these are very popular. Hey, there's some more Japanese cars here. You were telling me earlier that that's actually a Aussie delivered Evo. There's not too many of these, is there?
It is. It is one of the 100 Aussie delivered TMEs, Evo 6.5. One of only 22 in the Starlight Silver. Car was ordered factory with delete stripes. Didn't have the stripe option.
Hey, I thought it wasn't a TME if it didn't have those stripes, dude.
Yep. You could order them without it, but the car has been in long-term storage with the boys at Reliant, and one family-owned car from new.
Yeah, really. So it's 100% stock, it looks like. I think they were certainly the pick of the bunch. They sort of look like a muscle car, a Japanese muscle car.
Japanese muscle car, I'd agree with that. Yeah, certainly.
They've all got the same discoloured heat shield.
Yep.
Standard Evo option. Moving on to the Bluebird. Hey, one of my good mates had one of these with an FJ20 in it, right? I think everyone in the 90s had one, yeah?
I think so. I think it was the thing to have. So this is quite a unique example. Very, very original, well-presented car, stock standard. It is a manual car as well.
What would something like this go for now?
Sort of estimating it should pull somewhere between the 8 to 10 grand mark on it.
Yeah.
It is no reserve, so it will make what it makes on the night.
Now these HSVs, Ryan, no offence to HSV owners, but a few years ago, a lot of people, these things weren't worth that much, were they?
They weren't, no. They've certainly come up in the market. They've certainly shot up in value as well, and I think it's got a little bit to do with the fact that they're getting harder and harder to find in.
This one looks pretty good, doesn't it?
In such a good condition.
Yeah.
It's not something you see. A lot of them are quite heavily stone chipped or quite heavily driven.
I had a look inside this one before. It looks pretty good. The interior is pretty schmick.
One of 90 manuals.
Okay.
This one's got just over 17,000 Ks on the clock. 17,000 Ks is an exceptionally good example. These were
sort of
these were an
first,
LS1.
First of the LSs, weren't
first
they?
First of the LSs. And just behind that we've got the GDS.
It's the greatest wheels HSV ever released. What do you reckon?
Well, I think I'll keep my opinion. This is build number 001 for the VS GDS. Finished in the mica colour scheme.
Do you know were they finished, those wheels? Were they
polished?
Factory polished?
I couldn't tell you, to be very honest. I don't have an answer for that one.
Looks like we've got the Commodore driving position here too. She's a bit
reclined.
Got those recliners reclined. They always had a nice shape to them, didn't they? The Hsv Seats.
They did. Yeah. They're very comfortable seat.
This was one of my favourite cars.
The VN?
When I was in, just showing my age now, when I started high school.
Okay.
These came out, yeah.
All right. This is car number 26 of 30 for the TE30s. These were a dealer. SVT30. They were a dealer awarded car, so for the best performing dealers across Australia. So Reg Hunt was dealer number 26 for best performing.
So what were they? Were they based off a
VNSS?
They were a VNSS, just with like HSV.
Correct.
Options on them, it looks like.
Yep, a couple of little appointments on the car.
Probably, if you're looking for an older Australian car, the Valiants are certainly, well, they're more affordable than Ford and Holdens in general, aren't they?
They certainly are. I think they've certainly been the one left in the corner, I guess. Certainly unappreciated, I think. I think people underestimate the Mopar scene, as a lot of the Mopar guys would say, Mopar or no car.
Is it a CL? Is that what you call it? I can't remember.
I think it is. Oh,
I used to be good with the Valiant codes. My grandfather had one of these in like a blue-green colour from memory.
It's CH.
CH, okay. Electronic lean burn.
It is certainly one of the cleaner examples that we've had.
Remember that show Barjas? He had one of these. Is this a Lincoln, Ryan?
It is. I've got a Mark III Lincoln Coupe, town coupe, left-hand drive car. Certainly has a presence in the showroom, not going to lie.
Some of the styling is just outrageous, wasn't it? In that era?
The Yanks nailed their design. There's certainly nothing else like them in the market.
What do you reckon? Imagine this set up as like a drag challenge, pro street car, bead locks. This would get the looks, wouldn't it?
This would definitely get the looks.
Do you get many left-hand drives in here?
We have done of recent times. There's been a lot more cars coming out of the US and a lot more people.
I guess a lot of Mustangs are still left hook, aren't they?
They are, yeah. And people are accepting them a lot more now. People are learning to drive, and I think a lot of partners are accepting the having to sit on the other side of a car now.
Yeah. It's always a bit hard to overtake if you're by yourself.
Just a little bit daunting process.
What is this?
We got a 61 Cadillac convertible.
61.
Not quite the big fin model.
Yeah.
Being the 59.
You know, when you were younger, it was always certain cars you didn't like.
Yep.
This was one for me.
Really?
But now I think they're cool as. You know what I mean? Like some cars grow on you over the years.
Yep. No, I can appreciate that.
Shape. Yeah, I quite like it now.
I think, for me, these are like an epitome of American muscle. This is up there with your 68 Camaro, and this is.
Yeah, I was sort of always like the Camaros more.
Yep.
And the earlier Mustangs, but yeah, I really like them now. What's the reserve on this one?
This one's unreserved as well. So we're looking at 75 to 85 price range on this one, but it is going up as a no reserve vehicle. The car was actually originally the Unique Cars giveaway car for 2010.
They make a not a bad looking race car.
Certainly.
You know, some cars as road cars just look odd, but race cars, they don't look too bad. Yeah.
Yep. One thing that amazed me with this was how far the engine's actually pushed back behind the front wheels.
Oh, I see what you mean, yeah. When you look at the whole engine bay like that, it sits further back than a V6 and a VN, doesn't it?
It certainly does. It starts to make sense why the dashboard's so deep now.
Yeah, wow, look after the engines under the... They don't look like an overly heavy car to me.
No,
they're not that big.
It actually drives quite nice.
Yeah.
It's, I think for someone wanting a left of field daily drive, it'd actually be a good bit of fun.
Oh, this is the one you told me that was a bit modified.
This is, yeah. So this is our XA Superbird with a dealer option decal down the side. The regular Superbirds only had a smaller decal, about the size of a 30 centimetre ruler on the back quarters.
That was an option back then?
Correct,
big.
yes.
I've never seen this before.
No, you won't see too many. They were a special option for the dealers. But certainly something to be seen in. But the car is running currently a fairly hot 351. It does have its original 302 to go with it.
Yeah, if you've never been or driven one of these, get in one, because it's really odd. You sit so low in it.
You do, yes.
Your arm is like...
The door trim's certainly quite high up.
yeah, it's a really unique driving position. It's pretty clean.
Yeah, this is probably one of the nicest examples of a HK Kingswood ute that we've had. Absolutely gorgeous, just beautifully presented, beautifully finished. Attention to detail, it really works well for this car.
Yeah, it does. That's really neat. This looks like it's out of risky business. This one, primed for an LS conversion, I reckon.
I have to be careful with the Porsche enthusiasts, but I think it'd do it a world of good.
I always love the shape of these. I don't think they were the fastest car, but they're a nice looking car, I reckon.
Certainly. I'd still love to drive one in a manual.
Yeah.
I reckon a manual
I've never been in one of these. Hey, is that Wayne's World right there?
Right there. Nailed it. That is the AMC Pacer X. That is, certainly Wayne's World.
You'd never have blind spot problems.
Not at all. Not with those windows. Honestly, can't imagine there's too many of these floating around Oz. So you'd certainly have something unique if you came home with this.
It's got the shape of a car like you'd see in a cartoon.
Yep,
bit of a clown car looking, isn't it?
They jammed a straight 6 into these things.
Yeah, I remember that.
Once again, another engine that's tucked right up under the cowl.
Yeah, look at that.
XB GT sedan.
Main Force Patrol. What? More Porsches. You can't have a Shannons auction without Porsches, huh?
No, it's the regular visitors for us in an auction is our collection of Porsches.
These are going for a bit now, aren't they?
They are. They've shot up in value recently. So all the air-cooled.
Around 200 grand. Yeah, they're getting on 50 years old now. So what a great looking car, 50 years old. Timeless shape, aren't they?
Oh, it's sensational shape. Great colour. Like the colour scheme suits the car so much.
I remember not so long ago, Ryan, no one wanted these.
No, they became a bit of an orphan, unfortunately,
the
300 ZXs.
And a lot of them just fell by the wayside, so it's pretty hard to actually get a neat one.
Yeah, this one's a Japanese import.
Yeah.
Automatic Targa top, non-turbo.
Yeah.
And a 2+2. But yeah, certainly don't find many of in good condition. They're normally all a little bit rough around the edges, unfortunately.
Bit of a hard car to work on too.
Yes, the
Not much
6-cylinder in them.
bay. VG30, yeah.
Yes.
This thing here is very original.
Yes, we've got one of the 100 Australian delivered R32 GTRs.
Australian delivered. So how does that go price-wise versus an import?
They do pull slightly
Yeah,
a better premium, but in the same token, you wouldn't be buying an ADM one to go and modify.
Yes, that's what I've noticed. More of the standard ones are generally the Aussie delivered ones, aren't
Correct. They hold a little bit better value.
they? This one looks like it's had a few Ks.
It has. It's certainly lived a life. It has been
used.
It has been used. It's been used as a car to go to golf in. It's been
Yeah.
used as a car to go shopping in. Has had a dealer fit sunroof at some point in its life. Certainly can't get away from the fact that it is still an Aussie Godzilla.
Yeah, yeah. So they never came out with a sunroof?
No, I don't believe they did. So it's the first one I've seen that's got a sunroof in it.
I always love the dashboard design in these.
Very driver orientated,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's like a VN Commodore, but just done better. A similar dash.
And this one's also going up unreserved, so it'll be you're looking at 80 to 100,000 on this one, but someone could end up with a good buy on this one.
They look great in silver. I love the dark red. A lot of
Yep,
people don't
the
like
burgundy,
it. The
yep.
burgundy, I reckon, looks fantastic.
Yep. Yeah, the Aussie ones only came in the three colours, being the burgundy, the black, and the silver.
Yeah, because most of the imports, they're all black or the dark grey.
Correct. Here's something I bet you haven't seen many of. We've got a little AutoZam AZ1, or depending if you're American, an AZ1. But
Look at the height difference with you standing there.
it is a little bit with the gull wing doors and all. Certainly a very unique vehicle.
Gee, and I thought an MX-5 was small inside.
Yeah,
That is tiny. What has this got, like a sub 1 litre engine in it? Or?
it's a 600cc turbocharged engine. Again, Japanese import, so it's still got its Japanese E-tag contraption in it and all its different gauges and bits and pieces.
You'd be hard pressed getting seats to fit in that. Different seats.
I think so. I think this would be tighter than any RX-7 is.
Yeah. Geez, how do you work on that? Now, I can't say I've ever seen one of these, Ryan.
No, I think that makes two of us. I think you'd be hard pressed to find another Reliant Robin. This is actually a Reliant Rialto, so this is the slightly more upmarket version. She has had a bit of a life. She's got a couple little marks around it. I don't think this one has actually been on its side, like I'm sure
the Top Gear video.
the Top Gear version has. But certainly an interesting vehicle. So again, another sub 1 litre vehicle. So these were just over an 850cc 4-cylinder engine. The interesting thing with these, and the popularity actually came from these in the UK, being you could drive these things under a motorbike licence.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were such a small capacity. So did have huge popularity in the UK.
Single front wheel. It just looks odd, doesn't it, from the side?
It does.
I can't imagine being on the freeway in this.
No, a crosswind might take the better of you.
These wheels. 145. What the heck? 145 80 10 inch.
The box at the front, I believe, is the heater box.
I've only ever been in one of these once in my life.
I don't think you can ever be angry when you're in a Mini. I think it's one of those cars that you will always be smiling when you're in. This example's had a little bit of work done to the motor, a little bit of head work. From what I can tell from having it around, it's got a mild cam in it. So it's certainly a hoot of a thing to drive down the road.
Price range is about 50 grand. Is this the one that's got the trick suspension in it?
It does. It's got the fully pneumatic or the fully hydraulic suspension system in it as well. These things were well and truly before their time, and certainly an interesting vehicle. So,
Apparently super smooth to drive. But yeah, another car I've never driven. But
I think Citroen had their suspension well and truly sorted out between sort of this and the two CVs. Their suspension setups were exceedingly smooth, very futuristic.
They're so low. So do they lift up when?
They do, yes. They've got a set ride height that's all controlled by the driver.
Yeah.
So you've got a hand controller on the right hand side just next to the seat, and as you're driving along, it does come up to a standard ride height.
So getting back to the auction, Ryan, when is that?
So the auction's going to run from the 31st of August through to the 7th of September. It is an online-based auction, so it's all done online.
So when you say over that period, you just do a few cars each day, do you?
No. So it's a 1 week timed online auction.
Timed online
Yep.
auction.
So
okay.
very similar to like an eBay style auction. But the lot will open at 10 o'clock on the 31st.
Yep.
And they'll start concluding from 7 p.m. on the 7th of September.
Do you have an online website, or is it just Shannons?
If you go to shannons.com.au/auctions, and that'll take you onto our main page to go through all the vehicles there.
All right, well thanks for showing us around today.
Not a problem, absolute pleasure. Thank you for coming down.
We might have to check out the summer auction, I reckon.
Yes, certainly.
This could be a full-BOOST feature project car, what do you reckon?